They took me out to my aunt's job. Her name's HV. And I got sat on a horse. And after that, I just loved horses. And I drew a picture when I was 3 that I wanted to be a horse trainer. So I took a few riding lessons, and I would ride some out at the farm, my aunt's and my family farm. And when I was a child, but I never got to be a really good rider, but I did learn a lot of safety because my aunt made sure that I knew safety around the horses. They had a stallion, and she just basically said, don't mess with him, just stay away from him. So anyway, I was just laughing because she was telling me a story about it at a horse show. A stallion got loose and bred a mare at the show. Once they get going, there's just no stopping them. But the female winks, her vulva winks, and there's a smell to it. And then they know that a female can kill a stallion. It can kick, and has done that, killed a stallion by kicking him in the noggin. But so they have teaser horses that, if it's a really expensive stallion like a thoroughbred that's won the Kentucky Derby or something like that, they'll do a teaser and see it's teaser stallion to see if the mare's ready to breed. But so when I got married, my ex-husband, we built a barn. We didn't have a lot of money, but that was important to me, so we did that. And I bought my oldest daughter, she was 8 at the time, I got her a little Hackney Shetland pony named Beauty, who I had been friends with some pretty wealthy people up in Pennsylvania, and she tried to get that horse to be a show horse, not a show horse, but a lesson horse, because it was 12 hands, 12.2 hands, nice small little pony. But Beauty was having nothing of that. She was a one rider type. She didn't want switching up at children. She was too sensitive, grabbing at her mouth, kicking at her side, stuff like that. So Hillary learned to ride on Beauty, and one time we just got her, was out at the barn, and I had been with her a number of times, and I felt like she was fairly safe. And she had bit me once, and I kind of bopped her in the nose, and then we didn't have that problem again. You gotta take the stand of the director when it comes to horses. You don't want them directing, or else they'll take you back to the barn pretty quick. And so Hillary did not. I told her, I said, go put the bridle on the pony, and she cried. I said, no, don't come in the house until you get the bridle on that pony. And within 15 or 20 minutes, she had accomplished that, and that helped build her self-esteem that she could handle an animal like that. And horses can do that. They can build children's self-esteem. I trail rode. I sometimes trail rode on Beauty. I did a point-to-point on not Deacon. Deacon was the therapeutic horse we had. And I didn't really know about older horses, and I think maybe I messed up and he colicked because I gave him too much grain. But anyway, he died when he was 22. He was a good old horse. But, these horses, the older they get, they do require special care that I just wasn't aware of. Didn't think about it. So we did shows, 4-H shows, and I went and I mucked stalls to get Thomas, this little miniature 32-inch, to the wither. He's a small little guy, and we'd show him, and I went over to a lady's house, and we taught him to pull a cart. And I showed that too. I showed the cart. And at one time, I had 7 horses, little miniatures that I had started a farm to breed miniatures because I thought they were so cute. But in my divorce, I had to sell them all. And but everyone stayed safe, so I guess I'm not so crazy. Nobody got hurt. Doomy, the Arabian endurance horse that had gotten a bone chip. He had been to Europe competing on 100-milers, but he threw me, and I ended up giving him to a lady, her name's Leslie, she had a dressage barn, and she couldn't do anything with him either, so I think he's just a lawn ornament. But that's funny too. My first horse I got when I was pregnant, and I had just gotten married, and I saw a $1,200 big Percheron thoroughbred horse. Her name was Molly, and she had foundered in her feet a little bit. And I was pregnant, I was like 7 months pregnant, so I didn't ride her. But I said, they said, well, we're using her as a lesson horse. She goes over cross X's. Well, that was a lesson for me, because I took her up to a barn, a really nice barn of a friend, Pennsylvania, and we were going to work on training Molly. She didn't go through water, and she's a big 2,500-pound horse. She's like an elephant. But one day, a bale of hay was in a place, and she spooked, and she jumped over the Honda car that the hairdresser that had a horse there. So my friend told me, she said, I don't think this is the horse for you. We're not going to be able to do much with her. So I sold her to be a fox hunter to a wealthy man that had, I think, at least 12 horses, and he was training it. And he liked the challenge. But anyway, so yeah, that was a lesson horse for me. But we didn't get hurt, I guess I have some horse sense about driving or horses or whatever. And people can say I'm crazy, and maybe I am. I don't know. I'm not the one to judge. But I do think if we all work together that we could pull this off, this school, international school, and it might make a difference. I think it would. The intercommunication from different countries. It's not a set in stone. I mean, it can be set in stone, the architecture, but everything will be constantly growing and changing and hopefully getting better for our children and our world with creative education opportunities and travel. And then my idea is I hope they go back to their country of origin and take their education back and make their country better. More of a democracy, republic. So I know, they say, you throw a small stone and you have concentric circles. So that's in my mind, is every time I meet someone, I get the opportunity to talk to them, find out about them, they find out about me. And if I get a chance to give them a business card, if that doesn't, assault them or bother them. And I tell them, I said, I'm not selling anything. It's just the idea, the conceptual idea that I'm trying to get across. And I think every day I work on it, it becomes more and more clear. And I will continue to work on it because it's just part of me. I mean, it's part of my soul.